Hey everybody. Um, there was questions about how to aim and stuff, and because of that question, I started to do some other videos, and I noticed some weird things going on, and I've been having some more higher tier ships, and noticed that aiming is just weird, and I never really questioned it too much. And then I kind of had a guesstimate, and I'm now here with Disruptive, who you know in the Facebook chat as John. And he's helping me out demonstrate this. And John, can you?
Howdy.
Hi, John. Can you describe how the tick marks work? And
Well,
you're using dynamic right now, right?
actually, I use static
You use static.
crosshair number 9,
Okay.
but every tick mark equates to a second. And usually, through estimation and the fall time of the shells, which are showed on your cursor, is how I would aim my shells prior to.
Okay. And static tick marks are set for what speed?
I believe they're set for 30 or 20 knots.
Yeah. And dynamic is set for 30. So what that means is right now, technically at about here, because the Musashi doesn't quite run at 30, that's roughly where you want to aim. Now, um, what happens though is what people have found out, or I'm sure people have noticed, is that if I fire at him right now, I'm going to wind up, instead of hitting him, the whole idea is you're supposed to hit him about midship. And people are going to notice that it tends to be firing front. So I noticed that in static crosshairs, when you zoom in, there's a point that you have to be zoomed in, and that's full zoom. If you're not, it doesn't work. The numbers mean nothing. In dynamic, when you zoom out, the numbers change, so you can um, zoom out just a little bit. So like a destroyer on your left side, you can zoom out, just back off a little bit, and the numbers are still useful, and that most ships still travel at 30 knots in after tier 6. Now, what starts to happen though is my my thought process was, what if that zoom is to a set distance? What if that distance is 10 kilometers? So if at 10 kilometers a ship is a certain size, where he is at right now, where John's at right now, he's almost at 20. He's half the size. So at half the size, the tick marks don't work anymore. At half the size, instead of 10 ticks that my gun is showing right now, 10 seconds, it should be about half that. So it should be about 5.5. He's a little bit slower because it's Musashi, so I'm going to drop down to 5, and I should hit him pretty much in the middle. And that's the whole point, is you're supposed to aim off the bow, and then it hits in the middle. Now he wasn't quite at 20, but the point is now you can hit ships, because before you'd aim here where it's saying 11 seconds to hit him, and look where it's going. Like, I'm going to miss him by a mile. So what this means is now you can hit a ship at any distance. So let's say he was at 15, I'll drop it down to 15 on the crosshairs. It's saying 8 seconds. The thing is, at that point he's 3/4 the size of 10. So at 8, the reality is I want to drop it down to only 6 tick marks, and then I would actually hit him. I can hit people at 30 kilometers out. I've tried it. And I'm not guessing anymore. Like before, lots of people were guessing. Like, John, when you were shooting at ships, was it just from experience, or from you just knew where to shoot by the numbers?
Well, I mean, it was experience and a gross average mostly, just off of experience from seeing where shells would hit based off of my static cursor and the fall time that was represented when the cursor was zoomed.
right. And then you would make adjustments based on that information.
Correct.
Now that I've told you this stupid idea of mine, has it been easier to hit ships? Have you been trying it?
Well, absolutely.
So,
My
um,
average damage is definitely going up with it.
right. Um, as of right now, John is the only soul that I've ever told this to, and I only recently found out, and I haven't told anybody else out because I wanted him to try it, and I've been trying it myself. It tends to work really well. Um, so you have to fudge the numbers a little bit based on what the distance is, but now you're getting really close to what you want. Before it was a guessing game. Um, I'm finding it much easier with any ship now to hit targets at range.
There was definitely a lot more guesswork involved before.
Yeah. Um, so it's your turn. Uh, I'm gonna go. I gotta speed up though.
I need you to fire as well.
Nah, you don't need to see me.
I already hit you once blind.
I'm only
You
half
know
speed.
when you're at full.
Um,
You're at half speed.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm speeding up. I'm almost to 3/4.
Well, it says your 10.2 second fall time.
Right.
So I'm gonna aim about 5.5 seconds. I don't see you anymore.
You hit me.
Right in the middle.
So
A little bit more than 5.5 since you're speeding up.
yeah.
So now it's 9.9 seconds, and now you're going more towards full speed. So now I'm going to fire closer towards 6.5 seconds.
Now, are you adding in the 50% extra tick marks?
Yeah,
Okay. So
right on the middle.
yeah. Plus, I'm on a slight angle to you as well. So it changes, you gotta change your fire trajectory a little bit anyways.
Yeah, there's still be a little bit of guesswork involved, but there's a lot less guesswork now. And even when I'm not hitting square on the middle of the ship, I'm still hitting the end or the bow of the ship
Yeah.
much more consistently.
And so yeah, now of course you have to adjust for smokestack speed. So if it looks like half, cut down. So instead of, if he was doing half, instead of the 5.5, I'd be down to about 2 3/4. And then I know it's a Musashi, so I'd have to cut it back a little bit more. That's also experience and
Yeah, a
knowing.
little game knowledge helps.
Yeah. So he's slightly angled. At this point, I would have to aim probably about there. And you turned into it. Probably just go right
Yeah,
over
I'm
you.
trying to level out.
Yeah, it's okay. And oh, one clipped you.
Still right in the middle of the ship.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for your time, John. Um,
Sure thing.
so I hope this helps everybody. And if you have any more questions, post obviously comments, and I'll clarify with that. So basically, it's based on they're twice as far away. So the size of the ship is actually half as big compared to a ship at 10 kilometers, and that's how the ratio works. So now you know that at 15 it's 3/4, and the reverse happens when the ship is really close. So at 5 kilometers, you actually have to add tick marks because they're even bigger than what they're supposed to be. So, anyways, all right, thank you very much, and I'm going to stop recording.